Let's make some mouth-watering Sada roti. To your bowl, you're gonna add 2 cups of all-purpose flour, then 1 teaspoon of salt, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, and you want to give that a nice mix and incorporate all of your dry ingredients. Then you're gonna add 1 cup of water gradually to your dough, and as you're adding this water gradually, you are kneading and incorporating the water with your flour, making sure you incorporate all of that flour to combine a very sticky dough. Not a wet dough, but a very sticky dough, and this is going to ensure that we have a very nice soft and smooth Sada roti. This recipe does call for 1 cup of lukewarm water to your 2 cups of all-purpose flour. Then you want to consistently knead this flour until all of your flour has been incorporated into that dough. Once you have scraped off the sides of your bowl, incorporate the dough that is on your hand into that dough bowl. You want to then make sure everything is completely scraped off from the bowl. You can add a little bit of flour to your dough bowl if you find that it's still too sticky. I usually knead my flour for about 2 to 5 minutes in a bowl until we have this type of consistency where my hands are not sticking to the dough. And you're going to allow this to rest for about 15 to 20 minutes, cover with a damp cloth. Next, we're going to uncover once that timer is up, and we are going to lightly flour our surface, and we are going to create 3 balls, dough balls, or layers, whichever term you wish to use for our Sada roti. And this is the consistency that we have. We have a very nice smooth dough. And then we are going to allow this to rest for another 10 minutes. Now, while we are going to roll out our Sada roti, you want to make sure and heat up your tawa in the meantime. And I like to heat up my tawa on a medium to low heat because you don't want your tawa to get too hot, and then when you apply your roti, it burns or it raises too quickly, and then you don't have sufficient time for either side of your roti to cook. As you are rolling out your roti, you don't want to add too much flour to your surface because we still want to maintain having a very moist roti. Next, I'm going to add my roti to my hot tawa. Then we're going to allow this to cook for like 1 minute or until we see some very fine bubbles popping up through our dough. Once you've seen that, you can move it around to ensure that your dough is fully cooked throughout on one side. And as you see these little bubbles popping up, you then want to go ahead and flip your dough over to the other side for it to cook. We are also going to let this cook for about 1 to 2 minutes on the other side before moving the tawa and allowing this to go over the open flame. And I like to flip it back on the first side it was on before adding it to the open flame. And I'm still on a medium to low heat while we are allowing our roti to swell. This is going to ensure that your roti does not burn, because when it does burn, what tends to happen is that it bursts open the roti and then the rest of the roti does not swell. So you want to keep that fire on a medium to low heat while you are also over the open flame. Once your roti has swelled, if you're like me and you like both sides to have some color, you can flip it and allow the other side to get some color as well. And here's another example. So we added our second layer or roti to our tawa, and as you can see, the bubbles have already started forming on our roti. And I'm just going to allow this to cook for a little bit before I flip it over. And again, I'm going to allow the other side to cook for 1 to 2 minutes depending on how hot our tawa is, and our tawa will be really hot by the second one, so you can lower the fire if you like. And here I'm just going to add it to the open flame and keep turning it over that open flame until it starts to swell. Once it starts to swell, you want to move it around over the open flame so that it swells evenly and every side has cooked and there is air passing through, swelling that roti, so that when it's time to cut it open, it cuts open very easily and you are able to open your roti very easily as well. Bear in mind, if you find that your roti is sticking to your tawa, it means that your tawa is too hot, so you want to completely low down your fire and just give that some time to cool down just a bit before adding back your roti to your tawa. And that's simply it. I hope you all enjoyed this video and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.